Today is the first Monday, not employed. There's a word for it in Germany, it's called arbeitslos. And arbeitslos means you don't necessarily have a job. Now, I've never been in my life without a job. Yeah, so I refuse the word because I think arbeitslos is the word for people who do not necessarily have purpose. Yeah, I think we should run the intro at this point. Run the intro. So I'm going to give you my experience of how it's been. African, creative, and in so many ways as just a typical human being. The first thing that you're going to feel as an African coming to Europe is a sense of inferiority. And when you feel a sense of inferiority, the person that you're feeling inferior to automatically assumes superiority. Even when you're like on the train, on the streets, you're going to feel a little bit smaller. There's that sense that Africa is the third world, like they say. We have been sold this story as if we are the inferior people. The moment you come, you need to build your confidence. And I'm not talking about the confidence where you become rude. I'm talking about the confidence where you have the ability to present yourself. I didn't have the time, but now that I don't have a job, I have time to fix my bike. Rock on. I'm supposed to install a stand for the stand because the bike has no stand, so it's usually leaning against other people's bikes, which I think is uncool. Yeah, we got this out of a store called Globos. So I'm going to go on and fix this. We are going to install this. Done. Now that was the smaller bit. It has punctures. Punctures? Fractures? Yeah, it has punctures in punctures. It has holes in the tube. I need to get the tube out of the tire, and I think that is the harder bit. Yeah, see that? But I think there's a second hole, but for me to find the second hole, I need to fix the first hole. I have applied for a lot of jobs in the corporate world, and some people just can't believe that I can actually do what I can do. Most of the Germans that I've actually talked to have a completely different perception about Africa. It's a long time ago, guys. It's different. The thinking is that Africans can't be good at something. I think it's important that everyone who thinks that way, especially like Europeans, change their mind. I know Africans who can do things that some Europeans here can't even try. Oh yeah, now I'm putting the glue. Yeah, this is the ugly bit. How long are we supposed to wait? 5 minutes. People here specialize. So if you're a photographer, you are actually a photographer. I need to get the chair. I think my previous boss was a specialist, and now he's in a state where he can't manage me because he doesn't know what I'm doing. And I think somehow that offended him, that made him feel less. And then it translated into translating the fear and the shame into frustrating me, if I may put it that way. This guy looked in my face and said, you don't know everything. One of the Germans, he's a football friend of mine. We play football together. Football friend? Yeah, he's a football friend of mine. He was blown away. He said, you quit? In his way of thinking, it was a privilege for me to have the job. One, he cannot believe that I actually had the job, and two, I think in his way of thinking, because I'm African, he thinks I should be able to settle for less. It's important that Europeans change their mind about the perception. I mean, we look completely different, so that could trigger some things, but incompetence can't be one of them. Hole number 1 is done. I had about 3 holes. I have no idea where they came from. They all just appeared at the same time. Yeah, I'm just trying to be sure that there's no other hole in here. Yeah, I think the bike is done. Have you felt accomplished before? I feel like I just finished something important right now. I could treat myself to McDonald's. No, we said there's no more McDonald's. No more eating McDonald's because the fries are too small. I can now ride to the pharmacy. I'm not supposed to go get medicine for my skin because Europe is happening to me. Next on the menu, I feel wasted. It's like I'm from doing a payable job. Wow. I don't know if that changed anything. Guys, you have a space in this world. Be willing to leave. African coming to Europe, you're going to have a lot of these intimidations in these workplaces. Be in a position where you can say no. And the job was actually fun. It's just the energy. There's sometimes the energy is wrong. I'm also African, living in Germany now, so I'm facing a lot of culture shocks, and some of the culture shocks are actually just culture shocks, and others are just people being shitty. No, I don't think a shitty boss should be handled. A shitty boss should be left. I feel like I've put the stress off my back. Guys, the next thing we are going to work on is that given to me over the weekend, and we are going to hang it here. These are picture hangers. This is a beautiful piece of work, I would say. I think we need a bigger hammer in this home. What the hell is this? I think you can compare. This is very big and it has a level of weight to it. And I think being in this kind of environment has actually helped me appreciate how nice I was as a boss. I've been a creative lead for 4 years. I got most of the experience from on ground. But guys, also leadership comes from a good person. If you have a good heart, it's easy to be a leader, I think. If you have a shitty boss, leave. Do not handle a shitty person. So let shitty people deal with shitty people. African creative in a European country where we are already made feel inferior, I am refusing to let that necessarily define who I am. Get a job where you are willing to learn, but at the end of the day, be sure that you are in a good space. I individually felt like this space was toxic. Even when no one says something, you just feel like something is just not right. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Invest in yourself so much that when the place gets shitty, you are willing to step aside. If you're not wanted, at least you should be needed. Yeah. My first day being unemployed, what do we take out? One, for the start, being African in Europe is not an easy thing. It's not basic. It takes a little bit more than just existing. Now, to Europeans, Africans and Africa has actually evolved. Forget the days when you visited. That was a long time ago. A lot of things have actually changed. Africans are as capable, and in some instances, depending on the experience and other factors, an African can actually be better than a European. So just because someone is African should not necessarily evoke inferiority. To my fellow Africans, I think there's a sense of inferiority that you feel when you get into this community. That sense and feeling needs to leave you right now. Just like we need to leave this balcony, because what is this for weather? It's -6 at the moment. I don't even know why I got outside. I don't know whose idea it was for us to be at the balcony in the first place. I think this world is evolving so fast that I do not recommend anyone that I know to specialize. This world is evolving too fast for anyone to actually master one craft. I joined the company as a photographer, then I did videos. I think it's important that you stretch yourself as much as you can, especially if you have the time. Reach out, throw your net, make your net so wide that you never know what you catch. You could still emphasize and specialize on photography, but it would be cooler if you can use your photography to be a designer and end up designing using your own pictures. It gives you much more pleasure, much more freedom. Stretch your arm. When you get free time, get online. I'm learning how to play keyboard now, and I mean, I could have the next concert with Coldplay. Maybe I need to breathe in. Today is a Monday. I have to jump on LinkedIn and look for jobs. I need to find my belonging. Yeah, just don't be in a place where you're not wanted just because you're scared and worried. A cup of tea. I need to jump on my computer and just start and start job hunting again. See you guys in the next one. Be my left.